Well, welcome world, or I should say welcome Philadelphia. Hey, this is Nathan Robinson, aka Disco Rat, the godfather of disco. Hey, it started back in Somerville. Okay, as a kid, growing up there rough, then my mom we ended up leaving there and going to Frankfurt. Now, when we first went to Frankfurt, it was like, wow, Frankfurt was new. We grew up, we started in the projects, everybody knew one another, and then it started to change. In the other parts of Philadelphia, Frankfurt wasn't it was recognized as just soft. Real soft. And we had a thing about that, throughout the city that we're not soft. You come up in our territory, hey, we'll hurt you just like you hurt us. You got that 25th and Diamond, 31st and Nars. It's like okay, but there's no punks up in here in Frankfurt, and so we had to check some folks. Let's just put it that way back in the day. Okay, so we still were friendly folks, back there in the 70s. We still were friendly folks, and so the music scene came up, and so I had a partner that spoke about New York and African Bambaataa, and these guys mix and cut and da 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 da. Okay, didn't understand it, but one of the things that always resonated with me was when you go to parties, we used to have house parties, and that was the thing, the house parties, And so, but you listen to DJs, and it's like, wow, you playing the music, but the people ain't in it. But I'm thinking in my mind that, oh, you play this song, you play that song, you ecstatic the crowd, okay, but a lot of DJs, when they played, they wasn't doing that, so it's like, that's kind of what got me started, and so I bought this little box, put it in front of my house, and, people would come around and just start partying, that's kind of was the beginning, and then it's like, oh, so during the week, yeah, you can go to school, but during the week, we had these sandlot basketball out in the park. Everybody come, and watch the games. We just playing basketball. That's when basketball was the thing. Dr. J, the Sixers. Everybody want to be a basketball star. So we used, after the games, we used to play music, and then we started getting a reputation. People started coming, to play basketball on our basketball court, and then it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then finally, as that was going on, and I was playing more and more music, oh man, the word just started getting around, and so in Frankfurt, everybody known me as Rat, but at that time, disco was coming in, and it was like, okay, I just can't, so I had to come up with a name. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm playing disco music, Disco Rat. It's like, oh, okay. And so, it grew and grew. Then it was like, okay, I have to get out of Frankfurt. Okay, so I ended up going to Logan. Now, when I went to Logan, people from Frankfurt was moving in Logan too, even though Logan had its community. Okay, and so then, and see, even at that time, I really didn't know nothing about no other DJs. I was just playing music, And then I went to the athletic club, the Hotel Philadelphia down on Broad Street, and I seen Captain Boogie. Oh man, it was like I was mesmerized because he had the lights, he had the DJs, and it was like, wow. And at that point, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Captain Boogie was I ain't know nothing about even DJs being on that stage. I know I wanted to do that. And so I had to work towards it. But what I knew was he had a great sound system, but I knew I can put a better DJ and MCs out there, because at first everything was kind of DJs, and then I looked at it like, oh, okay, but if your MCs control your crowd, and so I had to put some stuff together for that, and wow, that's really how it started with me. In Philadelphia, started doing more house party. Then it got to the point where we need to be doing, we were doing block parties. Now, block parties was something just a whole, it was a different animal than house parties, and so it's like, but the thing have always been, you got to get the people what they want, you got to get there and move the crowd. And so we have always looked at it as performers. You an artist up there. You an artist. And I think that resonated with a whole lot of people through our time about what we're doing and how we did it. Because if nothing else, until this day, I still kind of do the same thing. You have to put a good product out there. I want everybody to know that we're good. We're good. Now you have all these other Sex Machine, B4s, Grandmaster, Flash, and actually look at Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. We had them on our stage. They were under us. We schooled out. And so, but you still have to pass that down. So the ride has been tremendous.